Hey, welcome to the Aloha Friday Marketing Jam Session. I'm Tom Gaddis, my business partner, Nick Ponte on the call. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday.
Hey.
We are excited you are here. We're excited to be here. We got a great show lined up today. We're going to be talking about Nick's favorite recurring revenue strategy. We're going to give you some tips on, all right, look, I'm just going to spill the beans. It's SEO. We're going to give you some tips on how to learn SEO. Maybe if you're just getting started, we're going to talk about why we love it so much as a reoccurring service. We're going to talk about how we, how we added it into what we were doing when we first started our business, how we've continued to grow it over the years. We're going to answer your questions about SEO. So if you have any of those, feel free to ask them. It's just going to be an all-around good show. We're going to hang out for, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. Have a good time. So I'm going to cue up the intro. Why don't you go grab a cool drink, and we will see you back here in one momento.
It's now time, the moment you've been waiting for. Get ready for the fastest 60 minutes of marketing strategies and tactics to build your remote empire from anywhere in the world. After 167 agonizing hours, they've finally returned. From the sun-soaked Sin City and the sandy shores of Maui, Hawaii, now back for a brand new Aloha Marketing Jam Session. It's your hosts, the Offline Sharks and Remote Millionaires, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte.
Oh, man, listen to that crowd, Nick. They are fired up today.
They are.
Yeah.
Enrique from Puerto Rico in the house. Hell yeah.
They are. I'm going to start your Feeding the Ducks music that you like so much.
Oh, yeah. It's good. It's nice to get a little ambiance going.
Yeah, we'll get it going. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Say hello in the chat if you haven't. What's up? Hey, a big happy birthday to our shark crusher and remote millionaire crusher, Richie Cronin. Happy birthday, Richie.
Yeah, I was trying to find a good, some sort of a Kiwi crossed with some United States American flag image to share with him in the chat. Couldn't find one, so
give him a year. He won't even have that accent.
Yeah.
Like everybody. Happy birthday, Richie. Awesome. I hope you have a great one. Hope you have a good celebration. So awesome to see that. Enrique in Puerto Rico. What's up, Enrique? Hey, Mr. Wayne Gilchrist. Good to see you on here. Oh, look, we got a woot woot. I'm not sure who that's from. Oh, yep, that's right, Marvin Droves. Time to put away your phone, turn off all distractions, because it's Swim with the Sharks time. That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's right.
I'm excited about today's topic. Tom?
What's that?
I said I'm excited about today's topic.
Oh, I know your blood gets pumping. You get fired up with SEO. It's going to be great. Oh, look, Patty says, look, the both of us. Yes, we're both here this week. Doug says, woohoo, it's jam time. What's up? JT in the house. Welcome, JT. Patty says, love that shirt. It's pretty plain. It's just pretty plain, but what are you going to do? Michael, I'm glad you brought that up. So Nick is living part-time in Maui and part-time in Washington. So he's in Washington right now, but you're going to be heading back to Maui when? You'll be there for a while. Soon,
I'm
right?
gonna go back to Maui in a couple of weeks. It's funny because it's finally hit that Washington rain weather that everybody talks about, right? We've transitioned out of the beautiful summer, which is like the time that I want to be here. Fall is happening or almost over, and today is like the first day where it's like actually raining. And I looked at the weather, and it's like raining for like 8 days.
Oh no!
And it's funny. I was when you said go grab a cool drink, and I'm like, I had to go do that. And then when you played the intro, and I went in the refrigerator, and I saw club soda, LaCroix, right, or coconut water. So hey. I am simulating the tropical roots today, and I'm headed back there in a couple weeks. So we won't be changing that intro anytime soon, Michael.
Yeah, that coconut water is good. It's surprisingly refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Welcome, Dorn. Megalodon Dorn in the house. I see people wishing Richie a happy birthday. Patty says #Kevin. How did Kevin adjust to Washington?
He liked it. Yeah. He's but he just went back. So he and Sloan are back in Maui. That dog's spoiled, man. He just gets to travel around and do all the cool things.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're actually going to be we're going to take the family, and that includes Patches, up to Utah. I think December 1st through the 4th. We're going to stay. I don't think is it Park City, Utah. Miranda booked it, but we're going to take him up there, so he may get to see some snow for the first time. I think he's going to have a heart attack. He hates to go outside here in the cold. He refuses. He's he sticks his nose out the doggy door, and then he's like, nope, and he just comes right back inside. I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, awesome. Well, man, we're excited. Everybody is here. Dorn says Kevin's a jet setter.
He's a little jet setter.
Yeah.
Hey, who here is doing SEO right now?
Yeah, I guess we should get back. Enough small talk, right, Nick?
Enough small talk. Let's talk about the real stuff. Let's talk about search engine optimization, the process of ranking a website higher in Google or other search platforms. But let's be realistic. Google is the only one that really matters. Who's doing it? Who's got some clients? How many clients do you have? Who wants to do it? I see Jacqueline is doing some SEO. Norm, Dorn, JT. I saw JT picked up the clockwork strategy, which is the clockwork machine, which is awesome. We'll talk more a little bit about that in a bit. Taylor Stillman, 2 clients, 3 in the pipeline. Love it. Doug Page does SEO. Dorn Brenton, 43 clients. Ha.
It's a good start, Dorn. It's a good start.
Yeah.
This is actually one of the topics we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
George is working on his own stuff, SEO and his own stuff.
Greg has 0 clients and a large knowledge gap, but wants to offer SEO soon. So we have some ideas for you, Greg. We have some ideas for you in terms of just getting started and then bridging that gap between knowledge and implementation. We have a good way to really get your feet wet in doing search engine optimization.
Yeah, it says, I don't know who this is, but he says, 1 year I've just got 1 client on SEO. That's a start. Maybe we can help you, give you some suggestions on how to increase that number. So, yeah. Look, Richie's feeling frisky on his birthday. When's Dorn going to go full time? 43 clients. That's a nice part-time start.
Yeah, those guys like ribbing each other. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, good side hustle, Dorn.
So, Tom, how long have you been doing SEO? When did it first get on your radar?
Oh my gosh. So when I very first got introduced to digital marketing, right? SEO even then was all the rage. So this is in the late 90s. So the way I got introduced to digital marketing, for those of you that don't know, is I had moved. I was a professional magician, and I had moved to Michigan to work in a magic-themed restaurant that a friend of mine had opened up there. And there was a guy that lived in Michigan who was he's kind of like they call him the underground legend in the magic community. And I met him, and he's an amazing guy. He's 84 now. I still talk to him pretty much on a daily basis, at least every other day. He's been a huge business mentor of mine. He was a professional magician when he was younger, but he eventually became a writer. And in the 80s, he had a computer book that he self-published, and he sold 500,000 copies of that thing. Wow. Super smart guy. And he was working on a project, and he wanted to do some marketing online. So he asked me to start looking into it and see if I could help him out and learn the skill. And so I did. And, it's interesting because I met a couple of people. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Joe Vitale. He was just kind of starting to get some traction. He wasn't the guy behind The Secret yet. He was writing books on copywriting and digital marketing. But Joe is an amateur magician. And so Joe had a contest. He was doing this event in Austin, Texas. It was a digital marketing event. And he said he would give a free ticket to anybody who could write the best sales page. And so I wrote a sales page and submitted it, and I won. So I won a free ticket. So I got to go down to this digital marketing event, and I met a guy there named Johan Mock, who is from Asia. He was a big time internet marketer at the time. He was also an amateur magician. I met several other people there, got some good info, and that's kind of what started, my journey down this path of figuring out how to market. And of course, SEO was a huge topic at the time. SEO was big, obviously pay-per-click. I mean, it's interesting, right? Like we all think like all these things are so, like none of it is really new, right? Like SEO, pay-per-click. I mean, the newest thing has been social media, but that came out, was starting to get hot in early 2000. But anyway, like, I mean, all that stuff has been around for a long time, right? And so I've been around it for a long time. And I've had some traction with SEO and some things like that, and obviously doing it for clients and that type of way. But I know you really took the reins more with it than I did. I mean, you set out to do a specific thing, which was use it as a way to generate clients for the agency and build your chops and your authority and all that stuff. And so you've done way better. Nick has done way better with it than I ever did. In fact, when Nick told me what he's going to do, I was like, "You're crazy, dude." I was like, "Just do this. This is much faster. We get results a lot faster this way." And he was like, "Nope, I'm doing this." And then it turned out his way was better because, he was started to generate clients on autopilot. They were finding him through search and all that stuff. So,
yeah, we're gonna talk more about like what happened there, because and it's it's funny though, like some of the I got my own SEO client on my own, but like some of the earlier clients that we started working with together were like, we got those clients together. We had some SEO projects together. It's where actually, for those of you that have been following along for a little while, like fast cash website audits, right? Like that product that we created, that was our foot in the door strategy to get SEO clients. Like that's where that was the very first product that we ever created in Offline Sharks. And it came from Tom and I working together, getting SEO clients and realizing that the first step for us was usually to go in and do a little bit of an audit and then sell them the audit. We ended up just selling them the audit first. And then that helped us to upsell, the actual monthly SEO retainer. And that was just an easy way for us to get our foot in the door. But, for me, like I got excited about it because I had a friend who he started a blog and like he wrote a blog article. It's just totally random. He didn't have anything going on at all. And he started a blog and he wrote an article about like, if you go to Google and you type in, why does my iPhone battery die so fast? He comes up number one. And as you can imagine, everybody's phone dies relatively quickly, right? Everybody has an iPhone after a certain length of time as your battery fails. And so there is so much traffic for that search term. And somebody shared that. They saw his article, they shared it, and it went absolutely viral. It went had millions of visitors in, 72 hours. Crazy. And that's what blew his blog up. So when I met that guy, he was very interested in doing search engine optimization. Like he didn't know how he did that thing that he did. It was like it was magic, total magic, total coincidence, just the right thing at the right time with the right topic and the right wording. And it just blew up. And so he doubled down on that and he started to go deeper on that. And that's kind of like when I met him and I started getting excited about SEO because I had a couple of website clients at the time, and for those of you that have like website clients or maybe some one-off clients, that's the exciting thing about search engine optimization, right? Is you can move people into a monthly subscription model. And so, it's my favorite service to sell because the retention that we have is so high. It's actually, man, Tom, our numbers in the agency are getting crazy. Like I'm pretty sure we're going to be, the agency is going to be doing 7 figures by this time, like next year. It's already,
I suspected that.
Yeah.
I was like, I think that's what it's going to be doing.
It's already at like 60. I looked today, $66,000 in recurring revenue in the agency side.
Wow. Per month. Yeah.
And a big portion of those retainers are from SEO clients. And a lot of them have been with us for years. And so it's like I said, one of the reasons why we love that service so much. But, of course, the bigger reason is it's so profitable. It's profitable, but it's so helpful and valuable to the people that we are doing it for, if I told you that we have a client paying us $5,000 a month to do search engine optimization, you might think to yourself that, man, that's a huge retainer. $5,000 a month, that's a lot of money for somebody to be spending. But in return, that business generates millions of dollars in revenue off of the organic traffic that they get to their website. So don't you think that's a fair trade, everybody? Pay $5,000 and make a few million, $5,000 a month and make a few million. So, by the end of the year, maybe you pay whatever, $60,000. It's a pretty good deal.
Doran said the race is on, first to six figures.
Yeah. Hey, I love a little friendly competition, Doran. Let's do it. And so, yeah, well, one of the things that Tom was talking about, how we got started, how at our agency, we really got started was rather than going out and finding a client first and learning how to do search engine optimization. And this is what I recommend to all of you that are looking to get started in this is why not start to try and rank your own website to learn how to do it. And the benefit is twofold, right? You get to, number one, learn how to do some search engine optimization. And number two, you get the benefit of potentially ranking your own website, your own asset for some sort of term that could bring you a new customer. Because a lot of people, they struggle to get customers. They don't like talking on the phone. They don't want to hire a salesperson. They're not consistent with their appointment setting, whatever it may be. Since we rank for all of these search terms organically in Google, we get leads all the time. They just come to us. It's a pretty good deal, right?
Yeah.
So if you go to Google right now, everybody, and you type in like Hawaii SEO, we're number one. And so if you go to, you type in Maui SEO, we're number one. And I can't tell you how many times we get calls from leads who are like, yeah, we're looking to do some search engine optimization. So we went to Google and we typed in Hawaii SEO expert and you were number one. We're like, oh, well, that's a pretty good way to start a sales conversation in selling some search engine optimization, don't you think?
Yeah. The authority behind that is great, right? So, some of you may be wondering, well, how do you get to that point from where you're at now? Like maybe you don't know anything about SEO. So let me give you some specific things you could start doing to start learning that it's a skill, right? It's a skill. You're not going to learn it overnight, but you want to start getting familiar with it. So a couple of things that I could recommend you do right now. Number one is I would look for a glossary of SEO terms. Maybe even make some flashcards. I did that. Like write out common terms with their definitions so you can learn the language, right? Start to learn the language of SEO. Look for, do a search online. Look for beginner SEO stuff. I know SEO Moz has a lot of great beginner SEO guides that don't take a long time to go to that are fantastic. Start looking at those things. Maybe go on to a site like Upwork or Online Jobs PH. Just search for SEO and see what jobs are people looking to hire SEO people to do? What are they looking for, right? That's part of market research. If somebody's on a job like Upwork looking for an SEO person, like what specific things are they looking for? If you don't know what those things are, do a little research on them, figure out what they are. Look up maybe the people that are out there for hire as SEO people. What are they charging? Do they list their packages on their website? Like all of that stuff, very, very valuable information. And you don't do it all in one day. You just do it, you spend 15, 20 minutes every day looking at that stuff. Maybe look up some of the best SEO blogs. Check out our blog at offlinesharks.com. Like we've got SEO articles on there. We've done, if you're a Shark Alliance member, there's a ton of SEO content in that course. If you're an elite member, you have access to the Shark SEO Academy. Like just start making your way through that stuff, getting familiar. The biggest thing is learning the lingo, right? And getting familiar with the terminologies are and all that stuff. And don't get distracted by the bright lights and the shininess of all the new stuff. Like there's a lot of foundational things that we do that are super important that you want to do first, right? So focus on those things, do that for a while, and you'll start to pick up, ask questions about SEO in the Facebook group. get some feedback from people. And, you know, pretty soon you'll be able to talk about it intelligently, sound like you know what you're talking about, because you will know what you're talking about. And yeah, I mean, that's a great way to get going. And then like Nick said, just start doing it on your own stuff. Put up a website and try to do some SEO. Like, don't worry about the results you get. Just start learning the process. Well, what do I do? What are the things I need? How do I create the content? What should that content look like, right? Spend some time over at Google. Google has a lot of stuff on SEO on their website. Like, look what Google says about SEO. Like, just start doing some research, put a little time in, and pretty soon you'll be way up on it.
You know, you said something, Tom, that really stuck out to me, and it's that you were doing SEO a while back, and I mean, it's been around for a long time, right? And the way that you fulfill and you perform search engine optimization, yes, there are different cutting edge techniques. Like every time, you know, Google rolls out a new update, they may start to favor having more written content on your website and things like that. But overall, fundamentally, we've been doing the same thing. Like I would say 80% of what we do for our clients and ourselves, we've pretty much been doing the entire 5-6 years we've been running the agency, which is crazy. You know, it's not like there's not some new thing that has to happen all the time in order for you to be successful with it. You know, there is just some foundational things, right? Good on-page optimization. If you don't know what that is, you can go to Google, look it up. Good on-page optimization. Having content on your site about whatever it is you're trying to rank for. And then having off-page signals like backlinks, citations, press releases, things like that. Like if you just do those 3 things, you're going to rank in Google. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So yes, there are some, you know, more cutting edge things that can come into your sphere of what you do that might give you an edge. But at the end of the day, like you have to have those 3 things. And if you don't have those 3 things, you're not going to do well. But we've always been doing those 3 things. And here's a funny story about that. So as we've been growing our agency, like we just mentioned earlier, you know, our client base is growing. Our sales team is growing. Everything that we're doing is growing. And it's funny because like we haven't really even been trying to grow it, but it's been growing kind of on its own because we've just been continuously putting the right people in place. And so in the spirit of bringing new people on our team in the agency, like we have new salespeople, we have new project managers, we have a new account coordinator. We want to help level up everybody's skills so that not only are they good at doing the various things that they do, if it's, you know, talking to clients and all that stuff, but giving them a better understanding of the services that we sell so they can more effectively communicate and do their job. So what we're doing right now is continuing education for our team, helping them learn more about our search engine optimization strategy. And so we recently hired some like high level SEO consultants, you know, people that have very unique vantage points on doing search engine optimization. You know, think about people that work for some of these bigger SEO reseller companies that manage 500 to 1,000 Google My Business campaigns on a huge level. Like those people, they just see things differently because they're always testing so much. So what we decided to do was just hire those people, bring them in and do some training for our team at the agency. And so we've been doing that. You know, we've been leveling up our skills. And of course, everybody in this community, like just because you're in this community, you're going to feel the ripple effects of that, right? Tom and I are leveling up our information and the things that we're doing. And so obviously anytime we put out any new SEO information, you get to feel the effects of that as well. But, you know, we brought them in to look, like the first place we started was like, okay, let's look at some of the campaigns that we have going for some of our more challenging clients. We thought that would be pretty fun. And, you know, we showed them all of the things that we do to rank clients. It's very systemized, right? We have SOPs. Everything that we do to actually rank a website is all step by step. There's like a checklist. And so they had to look at our checklist. They had to look at some of the client sites and they're like, do you guys have any campaigns that are actually struggling? And we were like, well, not really. They're like, well, why did you guys hire us? And we're like, well, we're just, you know, we want to make sure that we're continuing to do the right thing. Like we're doing a proactive leveling up of our skills here, not a reactive leveling up of our skills. And so I'm saying, this is kind of a long story, but I'm saying all that because, what we've been doing in those checklists and all that stuff has been relatively the same for a pretty long period of time. Like we've innovated, slowly and carefully with some of these changes that have come out, but it hasn't changed much. It's what do you call it, Tom? An evergreen strategy?
Yeah, an evergreen strategy. I know people like to think like, oh, there's all these new things that you have to do with SEO, but you're absolutely right. It's not there. A lot of the foundational stuff that still applied way back when I started still applies today. You just do it in different amounts and different ways, and you have to do it more. You have to do it. There's no point in trying to game the system, right? Like, just don't game the system. Like, just do the right things, and that stuff works out, especially with client sites and stuff. So, yeah. One thing I want to do, because we're coming onto the middle of the show right now, and I would like to take a minute to recognize the people in our community with some shark shout outs. And then what I would like to do after that is take your guys' questions on SEO and things like that. And so first, check this out. Look at this, JT. 3 new SEO clients,
my man.
3 traffic fuel clients, 19 review management clients, 7 new website clients, 3 social media clients, and 9 video production clients. 100K for the year already so far.
Dude,
JT, that's freaking awesome. We're putting something special together for you, JT. It's happening in the background. Don't you worry, it's coming. But that's
JT is killing it. He's been in Remote Millionaires for 8 months now, and he's already at the 6-figure mark. 6-figure mark in 8 months. If somebody stopped you on the street and said, "Hey, come join me. In 8 months' time, I'm going to show you how to make $100,000." Would you do that? Like, that's not that much time to actually be making 6 figures, don't you think?
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. It's really awesome to see. All right, let's do some shout outs. I'm going to share my screen here. Here we go. I love this part of the show. All right, so these are all the members of our community that shared wins last week with strategies and services that we talk about here in Offline Sharks and Remote Millionaires. So let's start off with our man, JT. This is just one of the deals he posted last week, $4,200 for a 5-page website and SEO work for a photographer from his B&I group, Business Networking International Group. So excellent win, JT. Awesome. Getting out there networking. Richard Pierce, who is in New Zealand, right? Is he in New Zealand?
I'm not sure where he's located, actually. I do know that he's an RM member, though.
He is an RM member, yep. He got a website win via Upwork. Oh, Australia. Look, Australian dollars. I should have saw that. He's in Australia. $570 US from a Loom. What's that?
I said, how dare you?
Yeah. Well, he got a $570 US website from a Loom proposal he did over a month ago. I thought this was a great story when he shared this in Remote Millionaires, because a lot of times when we're prospecting, right, the frustration can get high. You're sending out things, you're reaching out, nothing's happening. You feel like maybe you're just wasting your time. You never know when those seeds are going to sprout and grow. This one, it took 30 days and they reached back out, bam, closed deal. So, I'm sure at the time he's probably like, this is frustrating, but now we're excited. So just remember, we don't know what's coming down the pipe. All we can control and all we can do is put in the work today. We put in the work today, seeds are hitting the ground. Some of them will hit dry ground and nothing's going to happen, but some of them are going to hit good ground and they're going to spring up over time. So excellent work.
That's so true. I did an RM call the other day where we brought in one of our sales team members from the agency, and she brought in it was either $4,000 or $5,000 a month client. Like, they signed the contract, paid the invoice, and I was like, "Where'd you find them?" And she's like, "Well, I prospected them about 3 years ago." It was like 3 years ago.
That's follow-up, Nick.
Right. I was like,
that is follow-up.
$4,000 or $5,000, like, just from that one client.
Yeah.
In annual revenue, like, that's a lot of money, Yeah. And we're going to solve a huge problem for them. They're a pest control business. I'm really excited to be able to kind of tap in that market. I haven't done any like SEO or run ads for them before. And yeah, I know it's a good one, because if you've got rodents, you're going to go to Google, right?
Yeah, that's a great one. Terrence Allen, who is a new RM member, he just joined on October the 6th. He came into RM. He sold an electrician website, like I think just a few days after he joined. And then he sold a roofing website. This is part of the home services jackpot thing. So he's using those themes to fulfill. So 2 websites in the last 2 weeks. This roofer one was for 500 pounds, 560 in US dollars. So excellent work, Terrence. You know, this prompted me to do I did the RM coaching call yesterday, and we talked about this specific strategy, the home services jackpot strategy, which is so great. And you know what a lot of people do with this, just to give you a peek into how our RM members leverage other tools and things that we have on Offline Sharks. So they do the home services jackpot strategy to get the first deal, and then they sell SEO as a recurring service on the back end. So Dan Lesser just closed one of those last week. He sold the website for 500 pounds, and then he sold the monthly SEO for 476 pounds a month. I mean, think about that. What a great 1-2 punch. So a strategy that's really working for lots of people.
Yeah. And then Richard Pierce used the remote prospecting method, right? So
yep. Yeah. He used the remote prospecting method
from remote client system.
Yep. And both of those things are strategies and methods we've been using for a long time, and we continue to use because they work, right? They work.
You know, and Tom, a lot of people ask the difference, these methods are out there. Why are remote millionaires having so much more success with it? Or why are we seeing these types of results? The difference is we over deliver on all of our products in Offline Sharks. You have these strategies. A lot of you have these strategies. The real difference is, you're working together with Tom, myself, and the rest of our team support infrastructure to execute, so for those of you that you're looking at this and you're like, well, what's the difference? I know the remote prospecting method. I have remote client system. I have home services jackpot. These people are crushing it in remote millionaires. It's just that we are working together with them more directly, right? They have a higher level of execution by working with us.
Yeah. And everybody in there's looking to level up. I mean, these are 2 more RM members as well. Kristen Bedard, who got a $2,500 a month to manage social media content, minor website updates, and some Google Business Profile work, which, by the way, Google Business Profile is a, what would you call it? A segment, a piece of local SEO, pretty big piece, Google Business Profile. So that's another little thing that can be kind of a specialty type thing for someone, that's often a service we sell as an SEO service ongoing. Adam Van Dyne, he had a Cairo client they got a while back, but the Cairo client's now opening another office. So they asked Adam to do a replica of his current marketing setup. So it's going to include website, email, text marketing, social media content, and Facebook ads. It's a really big deal. And I think this Cairo is looking to even open up more offices. So it's probably going to turn into pretty lucrative. And then Nick Ponte, a couple of wins that the sales team closed this week. $2,500 a month SEO plus social media management campaign to a surf company, $497 a month SEO package, $1,000 a month Google ad to a surf school. And those are all great wins. And that too is another example, Nick, of kind of what the difference is between, our individual products and RM is that in RM, we're really showing people how we're doing that, right? How we're building out the infrastructure of our team to remove ourselves, how we have built it out to remove ourselves from that business and have it do what you're talking about, where it's kind of just growing on its own, right? Like that type of stuff. So so awesome work, everybody. For those of you that are keeping track at home, that's a combined total of $11,832 for the week of October 15th through October 21st. That brings our grand total for the year since the start of 2022. Our community has closed $1,217,861 since the start of 2022. I mean, that is amazing. 1.2 million. I mean, that's just great. Congratulations, everybody. Excellent work out there. I mean, we can only show you the way, but you guys do the hard work of making the deals happen. So way to go.
Man, huge numbers. Amazing stuff. And those are just the ones we know about. I know we say that all the time, but it really is important to mention. Those are just the wins that we know about.
Yep.
What about all the ones that we don't know about? I know Norm has a couple clients. He's on this live right now that he hasn't shared about. You get to a point too, where you're like, you got so much stuff going on, you forget to share the win. So, which that's not a good thing to do. You need to celebrate your wins, right? You need to take a victory lap. If you get a client, whether you're in Remote Millionaires or Offline Sharks or just our, remote marketing agency owners Facebook group, you need to go in the group and share your wins, celebrate that success. And, if you have questions, because that's the thing, if you get a win, you might also have some questions now that you have that new client on board. Hey, I just closed this deal. I'm a little nervous about doing this portion of this SEO campaign. What would you guys do? And that's where we can jump in and, give you some help. So make sure you share your wins, but take advantage of the group that you have. We've got an awesome community. Clearly, all of you are here joining us right now.
Yeah, too. And, another thing I would say too, because this is something that happened kind of behind the scenes in our company. And I got really excited about this because I just think this is awesome. So as you guys know, whenever you apply to Remote Millionaires, we get you on with somebody from our team to talk about what you have going on in your business, what you're doing there and all that stuff. And I know sometimes people are like, I don't want to get on this call. It's just going to be a sales call, blah, 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 blah. But it's not. We really do tell our team to dig into what you have going on and do the thing that's right for you, right? That's ultimately what we want is your success. So I just want to share this win from one of our success coaches. Her name's Maddie. And so Maddie got on a call with someone and they were struggling. They didn't know what to do, where to go, how to do anything, right?
Someone from the group, from our Facebook group.
Somebody from our Facebook group, yeah. And so Maddie just recommended a couple things. She was like, hey, I would recommend you try this and this, and that was it, right? She said, just try this and this. They didn't, they went on their way. They did what she suggested. They tried the thing she suggested. She gave them a follow-up call just to see how it was going, how it worked out. Just following her suggestion, the person closed a $1,500 a month recurring client. That was half of their current real job income. Their real job currently pays them $2,000 a month, so over half. They replaced over half of their current income just from that tip that Maddie gave them.
One client.
And so now they have another possible one that's going to sign up for another $1,500. So Maddie followed up with them. And then, they're talking about following up again later down the road and wanting to come into Remote Millionaires. And that's not even being a member of Remote Millionaires, right? Just following the suggestions we laid out on the call. So, that was really awesome work by our team. It got me so that's what we want, right? We want you guys to have results regardless of what that looks like. That's what excites me. Reading those shout outs every week, that's what excites me. So it was an excellent work by Maddie. And it was really great to see that.
Tony says it was him.
Oh, Tony. Nice. Tony and I had a call a while back. Awesome work, Tony.
Heck yeah.
Fantastic, man. In fact, Tony, I think you wrote a book, right? I think I ordered it. I have it over here. Oh, let me see. Hold on.
Wow. Man. What a great community we have. And by the way, everybody, I know we have a lot of SEO related questions. We're gonna scroll up a little bit and we're gonna go through them.
Maybe not. I might be confused there, but yeah, I want to go through some of these questions, Nick. So, congratulations to all the shout outs. So somebody said, this was a question, Nick, I saw. Need suggestions. Is it good to mention SEO price on the website? How do you guys handle that at the agency, Nick?
No, I don't like doing that. In fact, we use, the discovery process that we have was started because we started to rank for, marketing terms. So when people find us and they reach out and they're like, hey, we found you online, we want you to do SEO. We actually don't show them the price because the whole goal is to try to figure out if they're a good fit, if we want to work with them. And so if you just have your price on your website, you don't really have the opportunity to have a conversation about, maybe they have an objection toward your price. Of course they could probably afford it, but maybe they're like, this isn't for me. And so if you have your price there, you miss out on the opportunity to hear their response to actually giving them your price. If somebody's interested in SEO and they find us online and they see our website and we get on the phone and I hear more about their business, I identify that I can help them and I'm like, look, it's going to be $1,000 a month. They might have a response to that. And that is huge if you want to actually bring in a customer. If you miss out on that opportunity to reveal your price for the first time and then respond to anything that they might have to say or answer any questions, because that's the reality of it, right? They might just have some questions which they're not going to be able to get an answer to right there by looking at the price on your website, and then they're just going to move on. And you miss out on that. And so, what I would encourage you to do is, rather than put your pricing on your actual sales page, make your sales page good enough that they want to actually send an email or fill out a contact form or get on a call with you or get a report or get an audit. And that way you can actually have a better chance in bringing in that client.
Yeah. And
here's the other thing. A lot of people want to put their price on their website and have the different packages and all that stuff. Local businesses do not buy stuff like e-commerce clients. You don't buy SEO the same way you buy a t-shirt from a website. You look at a website that has 10 different t-shirts, 10 different sizes. They're all this much, different price point. That's how you buy a product, not a service. And so you can't sell it the same way. At least that's my take. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, no. I totally agree with that. And I think that's what, the reason we landed on that audit strategy, like what we were doing was we actually charged for the audit. So when somebody came to us and they were interested in SEO, we would say, hey, look, what we really need to do is audit your digital presence, because we need to get a sense of what's going on in your space with you, your competitors. And we need to see like, what's the best approach and how do we do that? Like, this isn't really a cookie cutter type thing. So we would charge a few $100 for the audits, and the audits did a bunch of stuff. One, it allowed us to build up the value of what we're doing, because when you're going through that audit with a client and they see what their competitors are doing, and you can show them like, look, this guy right here that's ranking number 1, he has 500 backlinks. That means you need a minimum of 500 backlinks to compete. Like, look at his website. It's amazing. Look at your website. Like, we need to fix this if we're going to compete. So they see like, oh yeah, I need to level up my game. Oh yeah, I see why, a $500 SEO thing is not going to work here. And then you can actually tell them that, like, look, if all you're going to spend is a few $100, like, you're probably not even going to make a dent in this. You might as well invest in some other type of marketing. So that's why we did it that way. So yeah, I think that's totally on. Jacqueline had this question, Nick. She said, oh, by the way, I know we have 15 minutes left here. Well, we'll do this first, then we'll talk about that. Don't you find it hard to get SEO people to sign up? I'm upfront with people and I tell them it's going to take time before they see results, so they're reluctant.
I mean, it depends. It depends on how you're actually, what's the process to actually get in contact with this person. Obviously, if someone is looking for SEO and then, you get on the phone with them, then they're much more likely to already understand the value, and you don't really have to communicate that, But if you just stop somebody walking on the sidewalk and say, hey, you have a website, but did you know you need SEO? That process is a little more to educate them and help them to understand the value. And, there are a lot of different ways that you can help communicate the value. A couple of them, one of them that we like doing is just pointing out like how much opportunity they're missing on by saying, hey, I saw that you are a tax professional in Maui, Hawaii. And then when I went to Google and I was looking to find somebody to help me do my taxes, I typed CPA Maui and I couldn't find you. You're on page 15. I actually help with that, and I can help you with that. So pointing out the different holes in their game might be a way to help demonstrate the value. Another method that people do, which we talked about on our webinar training earlier this week, was pulling up a ROI calculator on a Zoom call with somebody. So for example, you can, if somebody's interested in search engine optimization, what you can do is pull up a spreadsheet, get them on a Zoom call, pull up a spreadsheet, look at how much traffic is actually going each month to those search terms that are relevant to them, and then identifying how much they actually sell their services for, and then figuring out a formula. If 10,000 people are searching for, tax professional Miami or wherever, Miami, and, their average cost of a new client spends, I don't know, $500 to file their taxes. And if I ask them a question like, well, how many people do you close that you speak on the phone with? Like, if 10 people call you to hear more about your services, how many do you close? Is it 5? Well, then we just map out this number. Like, there's 10,000 people searching. out of 10 people that you get on the phone, you turn 5 of them into customers, you get $500 per customer. And look, you just show them that visual formula, and it's very difficult to like deny that if you show it to them in that way. So if if you're curious about how that works, we did a training earlier this week with Mike Long, Eric Brief, and Michael Tessalona, who went on a deep dive in something that they're doing that's very, very innovative in the search engine optimization space. That little bit that we talked about earlier, the fundamentals of SEO are the same, but that little bit that will give you that cutting edge extra oomph, like that's what they talked about on that training. So if you are interested in doing search engine optimization, that whole process of like ranking in Hawaii and finding organic leads for ourselves and learning how to do search engine optimization on our own agency website, like we didn't come up with that. Actually, we picked that up from Mike. So, that was one of the reasons why we had him on the webinar. They like the experts, the subject matter experts, the people that they have, they do some pretty awesome things. They're testing things. One of the huge takeaways for me on that call, Tom, was they found a way around the Google My Business verification process.
Oh, with an address, like not having the address?
Not having an address, not having to mail a postcard.
Uh-oh.
Yep, I know. And that is, that in itself is,
worth watching the training just for that.
Yeah. Well, they don't like give away everything on that in the training, full disclosure, but like, look, the price of what they're asking for what they're doing, that little tidbit of information alone is totally worth the small price that they're asking for all this other stuff that you get. So yeah, full disclosure, there is an offer there, but there's a lot of training at the beginning of this thing. If you go to offlinesharks.com/SEO stacking, that link that's scrolling on the bottom of the screen, there's a lot of information that they share that's really good. Obviously, that's a huge tidbit, and I know a lot of you were there. If you picked up their strategy, let me know in the comments there, because I know a lot of people, or at least if you were there and maybe didn't pick it up, if you got some value out of that call, let us know. I see Norm says it's money. Richard says it's juicy.
I'm not withering away. I'm getting pumped. I'm getting jacked. Like, geez, withering away. Oh, look. See, Richie knows what's up. See, yeah. Richie knows what's up. Okay. All right. I'll get back on track here. Dorn had a good suggestion too for those people that are looking for faster results, is just transition them over to PPC. Maybe retargeting, something that delivers results a little quicker. So great tip.
Yeah. We talk about this a lot. It's not good to sell somebody search engine optimization if their goal isn't to have organic ranking, So part of the process of figuring out if it's a good fit is identifying what their goals are. Do they need money today? If they need money today, then search engine optimization is probably not the strategy to prescribe to them. You might want to do something else, like Dorn said, which is run some ads, because you can set the ads up, have some clients and traffic coming in pretty quickly. But that being said, and this is one of the reasons which makes SEO such a great service, is that the businesses that are already successful, that have a good product market fit, that have a customer base, that have some disposable income that they want to sink back into their business, those are the ones that make a great fit for SEO. So, all those things that I just said, to sum it up, it's like the people that have a budget are the ones that want to invest in search engine optimization, right? So the people that actually have the money, which is why you can get these higher retainers for this service.
Yeah, and there are tons. I'm just scrolling down the comments. There are tons of good suggestions and resources in the comments. Greg wanted to know, what were those 3 things you said? Backlinks?
Yeah, on-page optimization. I said a couple, more than 3. Content, like having good written content on your website. And Greg, you're a remote millionaire. You have access to our SEO SOPs, so you should just go
check
look at that
out, Greg.
Yeah, on-page SEO, content, and off-page signals, which are like backlinks, press releases, citations, things like that.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm looking for some questions here.
Somebody says, I took value from the training, but I did not jump.
That's okay.
It's fine. It's just funny the way that you said it. I took value, but I did not jump. And look, take the value, implement it, make some cash when you're ready to go faster and you know, have a little more help, then maybe that'll be the right time for you. That's a great
quote, right?
Yeah. Richie says, one thing I've learned from you guys with the Remote Millionaires is I don't need to know everything about SEO to be able to sell a service, but I do need to know what things mean so I can hire someone who knows. Yeah. And you know, search engine optimization is a very outsourceable service. So when we get a new SEO customer in, the actual delivery and fulfillment of that service is just broken up into little pieces. You know, we have someone who writes blog articles, we have somebody who does the on-page optimization, and then we have somebody who goes out and buys various things like backlinks and press releases and stuff like that. So, you know, you don't have to be the one to do all those things. And like Richie is saying, you just need to know how to like direct somebody to do those things. And it's easy for him because he has all of our SOPs and templates and things where he can just say, hey, I need you to do this. But you don't actually need to know how to do the thing. So yeah, it's a great service to sell.
Yeah, I'm not sure who this is, but they're asking about the shoutouts. How are these people getting websites? So they're using a strategy we teach called home service. It's a strategy we've been doing for a long time, but we did a course on it at the beginning of this year called Home Services Jackpot. And I'll tell you what the strategy is. We have, I think there's 9 total completely finished websites in the home services niche. So, for instance, there's electrician, plumber, HVAC, lawn care, a bunch of others, all in the home service niche, but they're already built. They're WordPress websites. They have all the content on them, they come with royalty-free images, all of that stuff. So they're pretty much ready to go. So the strategy that we use is we have one of these sites set up, like the electrician one. Then we just go to Google and pick a town, and we Google electrician Las Vegas, and we just look for every electrician in the Google Maps listing that doesn't have a website. And then we just reach out to them and say, hey, I'm learning how to build websites. As part of that process, I built an electrician website, but I'm not an electrician, so I don't need it. So I'm just looking to get rid of it. I only want a couple $100 for it. If I send you the link, check it out. If you like it, you can have it at this great price. If not, no worries. And that's how they're doing it. And so some people sell them, start at $500. One of the things I recommend is maybe you start at just a few $100s, and when you sell 2, raise the price. So maybe you start at $300 and you sell 2, raise the price to $500. When you sell 3, raise the price to $800. When you sell 3 of those, raise the price to $1,000. So, I mean, we sell those sites for a couple of grand now, the exact same ones that we were selling for $500 before. So it's a great strategy and it really works. It takes a lot of the questions you get when you're trying to prospect for websites, like who else have you worked for? What other sites have you built? Like, you don't get any of those questions because they see what they're buying. It's pretty much already done. Then you just make some minor edits. So that's basically the strategy. Let me look. I'm just looking here through the questions here, Nick.
Yeah, I'm looking at them as well.
Hit that music.
Somebody asked about traffic fuel. Is it hyper targeted? What is the minimum ad spend? I recommend $250 to $500. Usually $500. We don't really go less than $500, but if you're brand new, I would recommend at least $250.
Yeah.
Whoa, Jacqueline.
Oh, somebody said, yeah, that's great. That's great, Jacqueline. Somebody said when we went on a shark convention, Dorn, it's so funny. I just got 3 proposals. I have 3 proposals on my desk right now.
You did?
For various locations in Vegas.
Where are we going?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided, but I've got 3 different proposals for various locations. So,
Dorn, we're gonna have to take them off site. We're gonna have to keep you away from the casino and all of the other sin that is over there.
Yeah. Norm says he gets web clients just on a retainer to update their sites $170 an hour.
Yeah, that's Norm's a beast, and he has a team that helps him to deliver on that.
Oh yeah, that was Tony. That was the win from Tony. $1,500 per month customer, so that's great. Yeah, Tony, I realized I was confused, but I thought that was you at first. Let's see. Let me scroll down here to the bottom. Okay. Norm got three new SEOs contacted me this week after his expert job post. Yeah. So awesome. Well, listen, I know we're coming down to the end of the show, but we always like to do something, and that is reward you for showing up to this show live. So right now, why don't we just do this?
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money.
Dollar. Cheating, bling, cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
Let's give away some Cash App money. So every week on the show, if you just show up and you go to that shout out post that we have on our Facebook group and you just congratulate them, say good job, way to go, whatever you want to say there, keep it friendly and positive. Then we pick a couple of people at random at the end of the show and we give them some cash. We just directly send it to them, either through Cash App or PayPal. So, Nick, you want to announce the winners?
Yes. Our two winners are Michael Marquez and Janine Moran.
Oh, congratulations, Michael and Janine. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I've been seeing Janine a lot more in our Facebook group lately, so that's good stuff.
Yeah, great job. I actually just had a call with Janine yesterday. Super smart. She's building an agency out with her daughters. She told me something very valuable on the call, Nick. She said that once your kids go to university, she said university, but once they go to college, they're officially on the payroll. So you just tell them whenever you wanted to do something, you're on the payroll. I was like, that's great.
Interesting. Well, you got two young associates that are up and coming. So
I know. Well, hey, congratulations, Janine, Michael. Is it Michael? Yeah, Michael. Yeah. If you guys just pop your Cash App tag in the stream or your PayPal email, the team will get taken care of. If not, the team will reach out to you, get it all settled up. So congratulations, everybody. Man, this has been a really awesome live show. You guys had tons of great, smart questions. I mean, I loved the topic. I hope you got some value from what we shared. More importantly, I hope you leave this live show, get recharged this weekend, and then Monday start taking some action on what we talked about today. Start taking some action on this stuff, right? We want to see you in the shout out page. We want to see you getting some traction, getting some wins. So listen, Jacqueline says, my kids think I'm on the payroll, but they don't need to pay me. Well, and ending up, by the way, that reminds me, let me look at the calendar here. So next week is going to be the Halloween live show. Next week will be the Halloween live show on the 28th. So, show up. We're going to have some fun stuff for Halloween. We've got some good things cooking in the background I think you guys are going to like. And I will leave you with this. Nick, do you know what happens to a wolf that meditates?
No.
He becomes an werewolf.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's my Halloween joke. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, everybody. Practice aloha. We'll see you next Friday. Same shark time, same shark channel. Talk to you later, everybody. Oh, wait. We didn't do Member of the Week. Oh, that was bad of us.
Man.
Hold on. I almost missed that. Thank God I miss it. Whoa. So every week, we reward a Member of the Week. We send them the shark treasure chest you see behind me. No one knows what's inside but the members of the week. This week, our member of the week is Kristen Bedard.
All right.
Congratulations, Kristen. You are our member of the week.
Man, that's awesome. I'm glad we didn't skip that. Kristen.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad I caught it before he signed off.
Kristen. Everybody give Kristen a big shout out. Make sure to tag her.
Blow up in the feed for Kristen.
Let her know.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next Friday. Stay safe. Practice aloha. Talk to you later.
See you.
You've been watching the Aloha Marketing Jam Session, your weekly marketing live show, always bringing you the latest strategies and tactics to build your remote empire from anywhere in the world. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. You can stay up to date throughout the week with the Remote Millionaires Podcast at remotemillionaires.com/podcast and Nick's YouTube videos at nickponte.com/YouTube. We'll be back here next Friday for another live show. Until then, aloha.